Good morning, dear students. I welcome all of you to the class of chemistry today on the 12th of January 2021, my dear students. Uh, in the last period, my dear students, we have seen the decomposition reaction. Can you tell me what kind of reactions are considered as a decomposition reaction, dear students? Will you please tell me? What is decomposition reactions? How do we define decomposition reaction? Type of reaction in which single reactant gives more than one product, more than one product. Such reaction is called decomposition reaction. What are the three type of decomposition reaction have we studied, बच्चों? हमने कौन से तीन प्रकार के decomposition reaction पढ़े? What are the three various types of decomposition reaction that we have studied? Speak up, बच्चों, बोलिए.
Thermal decomposition.
Very good. One is, सही बताया आपने, बोलते रहिए प्लीज.
Photochemical decomposition.
Then what
Electro
is next?
decomposition.
फिर से बोलिए बेटा, मैं सुन नहीं पाया, माफ कीजिए.
Electrical decomposition.
Very good. Electrochemical or electrical decomposition, electrochemical decomposition, and one which
Thermal.
Very good. Thermal decomposition. So we have studied about the various types of decomposition, and now, my dear students, we should study about the next one. So let us study about the decomposition reactions that takes place into the okay, then my dear students, let us study about the photochemical decomposition, though we have studied it yesterday only, but let me give you revision and then we can move forward. So now we are going to study about the photochemical decomposition. Let us study about the photochemical decomposition. Photochemical decomposition. Yesterday, my dear students, I talked about the photosensitive substances. Do you remember what is photosensitive substances? Photochemical decomposition takes place for this kind of decomposition takes place for photosensitive substances. Do you know what is photosensitive substance, my dear students? Photosensitive substance. Please reply. Okay. So my dear students, first we need to understand the meaning of this word which is known as photo. This photo is nothing but light. So photosensitive substances are the substances affected by the presence of light. The presence of light. Then my dear students, let us look into the various examples of these kind of substances. Examples. So the examples of these photosensitive substances are AgCl and AgBr. So we can have the silver chloride and silver bromide are the substances which are the photosensitive substances, my dear students. Now what happens if you take two molecules, or if you take two AgCl or two AgBr, and if you allow the light or sunlight, you can say sunlight or light to fall on them, my dear students, we get 2Ag solid and Cl2 gas, or we may get 2Ag solid and Br2 as a liquid. So AgCl solid or AgBr solid, when they undergo the reaction or when the light falls on them, this AgBr and AgCl decomposes and they give Ag and Br or Ag and Cl. So this is the reaction which is known as these type of reactions are known as the photochemical decomposition. Photochemical decomposition. My dear students, it is interesting to note that generally what happens, we nowadays use our mobile for photography, but in the previous time, when we were child, we used to have a camera for photographs, and in this camera we have the photographic plate. And when we have this photographic plate has the paste of, this photographic plate generally is having the paste of AgBr. Silver bromide is used. Thus we can say that this silver bromide is used in photography. So when the light falls, when the camera you click it, when you click the camera, the light falls on AgBr. So AgBr turns out to be silver and bromine, and this is how we get the negative of the photograph. Negative of the photograph, which is developed later to give us the exact photograph. So this is how, my dear students, we can even understand the application of photochemical application or use of the photochemical reactions. That photochemical reaction is used into the photography. The photographic plate is having the paste of AgBr, which decomposes on light falling on it. Thus the negative is formed, and this negative is developed into the photograph. So this is how, my dear students, we truly understand the photochemical decomposition. Now if you have any doubt, you can ask me. बच्चों अगर आपको कोई डाउट है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं. Shall we move forward?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then let's move forward and understand the next type of reactions. The next type of reaction that we want to study today is known as the displacement reaction. Displacement reaction. Displacement reaction. Dear student, this displacement reaction is like a game which is known as kho or kho-kho. Kho or kho-kho. So what happens, you know, some people are sitting over here, someone come and, you know, push this man to go and play a game. This is also, or this same kind of thing happens into the displacement reaction also. Now, in displacement reaction, what happens that there are some elements which are more reactive and there are some elements which are less reactive. So elements, we can classify them as a more reactive element or we can have less reactive element. So what happens during the displacement reactions, the more reactive element displaces the less reactive element from its salt. So remember that the more reactive element should come in the elemental form. The more reactive element should come into the elemental form and the less reactive element should be present in the form of salt. This is the important thing. My dear students, please note it or please understand it that this more reactive element, the more reactive element it is in the elemental form. The less reactive element it should be in the salt form. So the less reactive element is present as a salt, the more reactive element is present in the elemental form. Now let us take the example for this and we would come to know that suppose we have a more reactive element as an iron and the less reactive element is copper. So we will use iron nails. We will use iron nails into the salt of copper which is known as the copper sulphate. Please remember my dear students that we will use the iron nails into the salt of copper which is known as the copper sulphate and we will allow both of them to react with each other. So when they react with each other, so first we should take the iron nails in the solid form. We know that the iron nails are always available or available in the solid form. So we shall take iron nails, that is Fe, iron in the solid form. We add these iron nails into the solution of copper sulphate, which is CuSO4 aqueous. So it is an aqueous solution of copper sulphate. That gives us the FeSO4, which is even a solution of ferrous sulphate. And we have this copper, which is released as a solid. So this is how the reaction takes place. Now, my dear students, you can easily see here that this Fe was available. This Fe has come and it has displaced copper and it itself has been connected with sulphate, and you can see that this copper has been removed from the salt and it is present here. Now, my dear students, if we understand it in again in a little detailed manner, what we realize is that this is the more reactive metal, This copper sulphate, copper is a less reactive metal. So you can see that more reactive metal has displaced the less reactive metal. Now one more thing I would like to bring it to your notice, my dear students, that there are some color changes also takes place. So this copper sulphate is blue in color, but this FeSO4 is green in color. So my dear students, please remember well that copper sulphate is blue in color, FeSO4 is green in color. So when we, and this CuSO4, this copper metal is a cupric red or reddish brown in color. Reddish brown, or you can say the cupric color. So this, what happens my dear students, when you take these iron nails, these iron nails are deposited by the copper. So iron nails displaces copper from the copper sulphate and they form the FeSO4 and this copper is formed. So you can see that this copper is deposited on the iron nails. Copper is deposited on iron nails. And the solution turns from blue to green. The color of solution changes from blue to green. Because my dear students, this copper sulphate is being utilized, so blue color, which was because of the copper sulphate, the new substance formed is green in color, and that is why the color of the solution changes to the green. So now my dear students, this is how we understand the activity. Do you have any doubt? If you have any